Okay, how are you, Abby?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm super fine. It's now like the seventh week, the seventh week of your internship with the FIEN Foundation. I understand that you have gone through a lot of things. So, first, we want to know what has been your favorite experience with this internship.
Out of everything,
Yes, just anything comes in your mind.
probably my favorite things that I've done were either hiking to the waterfall, or going on my safari. Those were probably the two best experiences. Also, the Maasai village. There's so many; it's hard to pick. But yeah, those three would be my top three. Probably the village, waterfall, safari.
Okay, well, okay, now let's get back to the internship there at school. How do you tell us about your experience there in school? I know you meet a lot of teachers there, students. This time you have been building up the websites. Can you tell us your experience? What is your first impression with the school?
Yeah, everyone at the school is very welcoming. They make sure that I feel at home there, and I've been able to make connections with some of the students as well. And yeah, I mean, obviously the environment is very different from what I'm used to, so it was helpful to have people there that are kind of there to help make sure I feel comfortable, and even though it's such a different environment, but overall I've had a good experience at the school, and I've made some lasting connections. So
Okay. I understand that your main goal for this internship is to build the websites. Can I tell us how was it? The challenges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the main challenge was just that I was doing it alone and didn't really have anybody to ask for help when I was facing issues. But other than that, everything went well. It's been a long process, so just kind of starting from the bottom and building each week on what I did the previous week. But everyone in school, when I needed some information or anything, they would try to get it for me as soon as possible, so that was helpful. But yeah, it was a lot of self-teaching, self-learning, so definitely had growth in those areas as well.
What do you have an expectation on that particular website? Do you have any expectation on helping the school?
Yeah.
Which expectation you have on that?
Yeah, so I think that it will be a good, really good resource for not only those that attend the school, but also those that are maybe interested, or parents even that don't know too much about the school. It's definitely just a central hub for information about the school and kind of how they work, and just general information that's public knowledge, photos, things like that, so that anyone that wants to know anything about Lupanga can just go to the website. And yeah, there's a contact form on there, so people can ask questions, kind of just get a feel for the environment of the school. So that's kind of the main thing, is to just give them a professional online presence, whereas before they had nothing. So
Okay, well, let's now get back to the accommodation, to the apartment where actually you stay on your last time of your day. Tell us about the experience in the apartment.
Yeah, the apartment's very nice. It's pretty modern, and there's air conditioning and hot water for the most part. There's Wi-Fi as well, for the most part sometimes, and then yeah, I feel comfortable. There's like a gate attendant every night, and the landlord is responsive on WhatsApp, so if I ever have questions about the place, he's been helpful answering those, and yeah, it's very nice. I don't really have no complaints about the
Okay,
accommodations.
good. Then I know you had a lot of interactions,
Mm.
but now we want you to tell us about the interaction you had with the families. I hope you went to some families and they host you dinner or lunch.
Mm.
Can you tell us about the culture at family level? What very unique culture or funny culture that you experienced in these families you had visited?
Yeah, so they were all so different. All of the families were very different that I've had interactions with. So um, yeah, they were all different kind of housing situations, family situations, but um, they're all really good experiences. The kind of the cooking culture, I guess, is it's very nice. Like I know people like to cook here a lot more than they do at home, and everyone is a very good cook. The food is always amazing. So yes, and with the family, the children are helping with the preparations too, and clean up after and things like that. So yeah, I mean every family kind of did it in their own unique way. But every time the food was amazing and the company was great. They like to make stories, so that was always fun.
Okay, maybe generally, uh, what fun thing or what a unique thing that you saw or found in Morogoro? For instance, when I was in SA, for me to see people sleeping on the street, the adult ones, the homeless, it has been something that was fun to me or unique to me, because in Tanzania we normally used to see children are the ones who are going homeless along the street, but we never see the adult people who are going through the street homeless. So for you, I'd like to know which has made you to think different regarding to life you encounter in Morogoro.
One thing I think that's common here that's not never found in the U.S. is kind of, well, this is also an agricultural region, but like all the animals and the livestock are just kind of roaming, or yeah, like even just along the side of the road, or they're crossing the road, or they're not like they're not in enclosed area, especially like the chickens and the cows, like they're kind of just everywhere, and it's just kind of normal. They'll even like come into the house, and it's just normal. Yeah, that's probably one of the big differences.
Okay, let us now talk about the means of transportation in Tanzania. When we received it from the airport, actually, we used we used the car to take you to the hotel. The same car took us to Morogoro. Actually, we spent like 4 hours on the road. But when we went to Dar es Salaam 2 weeks ago, you used the electrical train. And that is the time when this train started to operate. But then there are the other means of transport, which actually you use to commute from one point to the other in Morogoro. Can you tell us your view about your means of transport?
Yeah. The roads here are very different than at home. They're kind of crazy and hectic. There's not really rules of the road that are strictly enforced. Like in the U.S., kind of everyone just it's kind of like a free for all when they're driving. But there's basically two main ways that I get around with the Bajaji or the Boda Boda, and um, for the public transportation. So yeah, um, they they're either I don't know how to explain. The Boda Boda is a motorcycle. The Bajaj is like 3-wheeled covered vehicle that fits multiple people, and yeah, both are used for getting around town. And then, like you said, the train for longer distances is really nice. It's fast and it's easy. Um, so yeah, the car is not really as efficient in here because it's hard to maneuver around the traffic congestion in town, and the roads are very like there's few paved roads. Most of them are dirt roads with a lot of bumps. So the rides are very bumpy, but I think it's fun.
Well, now again, let you tell us about the FIEN Foundation. I know when you were in America, when we conducted an interview, and then we agreed you to come, you had a certain perception of the organizations, and then we came to Tanzania. Now you interact with the organizations. What was your imaginations? What were your expectations? How did you imagine the organization is, and how did you find?
Yeah.
Or did you find? Yeah.
Yeah. Before coming, I really only knew from what was on the website, and just like what we had discussed in the interview. But other than that, there wasn't really any other way for me to know. But yeah, after so those are I didn't really have. I kind of came in with an open mind, I guess. But yeah, again, it's a small organization. Everyone is again very welcoming, and when I met everyone the first week, kind of getting oriented, it was good to see everyone. I think most people in the organization, they have their main occupation, and then they work for the FIEN kind of on the side or after their main occupation. So yeah, it was just kind of good to see the variety. Everyone was welcoming, and also there's a lot of connections. FIEN has many connections to different organizations and different people, so that was really fun to see and to also be a part of that. So yeah.
Okay. Well, your program, your web development program, which is the actual the internship program you have here. I think there are expectations for the internship.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that for the 7th week you had with FIEN Foundations, your expectation met?
Yeah. My goal was to just complete the website and have it up and running and usable, reachable, and I've accomplished that. So yeah, originally I was planning to come with another person, so that was the main difference, I think, was that it ended up just being me to do the project alone, so that made it a little more difficult, but I think the goal has been accomplished for sure.
Okay, tell the viewer that after leaving Morogoro on 26th of July, where are you going, and you will stay for how long before you get back to USA?
Yes, I'm going to Zanzibar, which is an island that's part of Tanzania. It's I'm taking a plane, 30-minute flight from Dar es Salaam airport, and I'll be there for 6 days before going back home. So that's kind of that's my week off of the internship, my last week in Tanzania, so I'll be spending it at the beach. I'm excited.
There are so many students in Wisconsin, Madison, the University of Wisconsin, who would like to visit Africa doing different kind of internship.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have some reason to tell them to come and have internship with FIEN Foundation? If you have, can you tell them?
Yeah, I would encourage everybody to do it. It's been a really great experience. You can't replicate anything like this anywhere else in the world. So just immersing yourself in a new culture just gives you so much more knowledge than you can have just by staying in the United States. Coming to Africa has really showed me kind of the way of life in the other parts of the world, and yeah, it's been great meeting so many people and just seeing how different life is in East Africa, and also just I never could have imagined the people I would meet and all the things I've been able to do. So I would definitely encourage anybody that is even thinking about it a little bit to go for it, and it'll probably surprise you. That's my advice.
Well, thank you very much, Abby. Actually, we have been happy to have you. You have been very cooperative. Actually, I understand that your program wasn't very much organized, so some things you had to organize on yourself. It's something that actually we wanted you to experience. I understand that it has added you some kind of skills. So we are very much happy to have you. And
Thank you.
it's just because this internship has a limited time that you have to stay here for 7 weeks, then you get back. But if it was our decision, maybe we could have extended more time to have you here. So we welcome you back for the future, because these non-profit organizations is really in need of people to volunteer, because there are a lot of works here. We're still very young NGO, so we need the people to support in one way or another to make sure that the mission or the goals of the organizations is being met. So you people in America, I know you are viewing us, you are welcome to come and volunteer in the organizations. So Abby is our ambassador. If you need to know more about the organizations, Abby is there to tell you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We hope to see you again in Tanzania.
Of course.
Bye bye.